Hello, I'm Will Forge, and today we will forge. And I'm actually finally live now. It took a long time to make my coffee this morning. I don't know why. I just did. Don't know why. Anyway. Let's see. Ooh, I've got it set to top chat. Live chat. There we go. Map is loading in. It's loading. We're almost in. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Lunar base. So I tweaked that thing a little bit more. While off stream, I was like, yeah, I want to make it. I was just like messing around with it. I made like a little ship, like an Oni stealth ship or something to be seen from distance. I might change that so it's not purple anymore, like glowing purple. But basically, it looks like this from here, and that's that. But anyway, I also was working on this a lot. So I've got a lot done here. That's maybe not final coloring, but I'm liking the look of it so far. And it only required very slight adjustments to things like this. This can't be adjusted lengthwise, so it kind of has to eat into the the area up here. But I'm gonna make that make sense by arting this to look like a sort of balcony protrusion here, instead of just a a block. So it'll still work. Join mid convo again. It's okay. I was probably just mumbling about like what I did over there, or if it was whenever I was talking about the coffee, I was saying that it just took a long time to make coffee this morning. I think when I was prepping, for some reason the coffee was taking forever to make. Let's see. And then, unless it was about these things, in which case I was just saying, the color's not final, but I was just showing this off a little bit. So this is not even aligned yet. That's not final either. But yeah, it's gonna be good. Okay, so that's what I've got so far there. But yeah, and then that's gonna copy over here, so everything I do over here is practically this stuff too. Yeah. Okay, so I need to get into probably, like, I like this door frame. We can keep the door frame and just color it a bit. But I think what we need to do is, I guess this implies that that's the door. Never noticed that before, but this frame kind of, that little bump up area right there, that could be the door that just rises up. But yeah. And then let's see. Just got to figure out what I want to do for this room. But also we could just jump to another room and start arting it, so that we know we can make them meet in the middle. It's hard to say. Like, for example, we know that we want to put a giant piece of glass here instead of the moon rock. I mean, I might still put the moon rock around the outsides just to like harken back to it, because but we want a hole in the middle. Oh yeah, the stairs. They've got these big old... Okay, they're sticking through. I could put the shorter kind of stairs there. That isn't hollow underneath, Or, I mean, that's hollow underneath. Excuse me, that is hollow underneath. That's what I meant to say. And I can stick some... And I can put a triangle underneath to make it not hollow, That way we can open up this area. Because this kind of stair is really cool. It's the one I use over here as well. But it does this thing where, you can't decide how tall it is. You can only decide how wide and how long it is. So I've got to figure out something where you can't just basically bring it to fewer steps. Would have been cool if they had something where they tracked, where you literally just brought up the number, like a value, like increase a value, and it would add more steps, and you just keep doing it until you're satisfied. This kind of lets me see, once now that moon base area, now that moon section is gone, how centered this actually is, which it appears, like I was saying yesterday, that it is not centered by just a hair. Let's see if it's centered on this side. It kind of appears to be centered over here. Yeah, I can eyeball that. That is centered on this side. Yeah, so basically, the map, technically, that side of the map is slightly to the right a bit. Not by probably enough to matter, as long as it doesn't look like it by the time we're done. So that's just something that I'm going to have to work around. And if I can, I will slowly, as I art it, I'll slowly try to like, you know, line it up. Been a minute. How you been? Hey, Photography Studio. It has been a minute. I was wondering where you were. It's been pretty good. I was doing the other map, and I was like, you know, I need to get out of this whole like making buildings out of dynamic objects for a minute, so I can do a little bit of a break, so I can do something that's less strenuous and like mentally taxing. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go see about this other map, and I'm doing that right now. How are you doing? Let's see, glass. Which one should I do here? Because I know you kind of want it to be a little foggy. Yeah, I think we're gonna do pretty foggy. That way it'll look like more mysterious through it. That's usually a good idea. But I also want thick. I want it to feel like it's not going to collapse on you, so I want it to feel like a really thick, chunky piece of glass. And we need to make it look like it would make sense. Since my scene's finished, now what do I do? Good question. I think you should make a map. I know you want to find someone else to help you make the map, but I think you should make a map. Understandable. I'm doing alright. I took a break from Halo for a week or two and played Minecraft and some other games. Yeah. I've actually been playing Minecraft with my kids lately. What's up, buddy? How's it going? Let's see. So, not making a map till season 4. Oh, okay, yeah. Whenever they add water, or is it about the campaign, potentially the campaign AI? I'm not sure what they're gonna actually have. These are all like technically leaks, I guess, that we are sitting here talking about like they're real. But you know, it would be apt that water is a leak, though. You know, it just makes sense. Oh no, I thought I selected underneath it. Whoops. Not interested in AI. You can see that I tried using a grid. Yes, I know. I see that, and I see that it gave you trouble because like what I was just noticing. I don't know if you were in yet. Whenever I was pointing it out, but like that side of the map is slightly to the right compared to this side. So I guess the snapping probably messed up somewhere. I assume like probably this usually what happens is like you'll be building and you'll be having everything aligned and going a certain way, and then you'll build around, and then you'll come back around the other side, and you'll come back in, and it'll realign like everything in the middle off of, and then like, but really it's like something was slightly too thin over there that ended up misaligning this side, ended up misaligning that side or something like that. But I'm just gonna see what I can do about trying to straighten that up as I go. But if I don't, it's so subtle, it's not actually a problem. It's like that kind of little tiny bit. But yeah, it's like here, I'll try and make this one align to there. It's that much off, which is like so subtle. I don't think that would even that wouldn't imbalance the map because of run distances to power weapons or anything like that from spawn points. And it's something we could also, if that was a problem, which I don't think it would be, we could like just shift these guys out a little bit, since I think they're farther away. Yeah, this side would just be slightly closer to everything. We could just do that easily, and it would balance everything again. So as long as it doesn't look like it's off balance, as long as it doesn't look like it's shifted, everything will be perfect. I know back in Reach, everything was always off. So yeah, no, it's just very tiny off in some spots. Yeah, trying to see the Mario movie with the boys. Nice. I actually am really excited about that because not only was it looking good to me, but now it's But then, like, it's also getting good reviews. Forge probably bugged one day. Yeah, that's also true. Forge was bugging. Always be bugging, I'm pretty sure, is Forge's motto. I actually kind of like this protrusion out right there. I'm not gonna, like, obviously keep it as just this block, but whatever I put there, I think I am gonna make it do that on purpose. Like, that's kind of cool. Okay. I really wish that scaling undid properly. Yeah, I don't know. Just gotta manually bring it back in. Gotta go to like halfway and then drag it that way. Which I'm gonna need to use my mouse and keyboard for. My coffee's in the way. Coffee's just always in the way today to get to do the stream. It was the reason I was late. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's too low, but something like that. I think I'm gonna adjust. I'm gonna scale it into position because I didn't really like. I'm not dead set on this. Why is it not moving? There we go. I'm not dead set on this exact thickness, so I can make it a little bit thicker just to make it align properly. There we go. And now I can snap off of this thing because it's snapped to center. I can go from there. This is probably, yeah, I'd say this is foggy enough that the stuff down there. A lot of what was thrown together was for a quick layout, then I got stuck. Haha. Yeah, exactly. Because you're like, oh man, this will be quick, and then you throw it together and you're like, actually this is doing good, I like this, I'm gonna leave it there. And then like by the time you're done, you're like, oh, I never fixed that thing. I know the feeling. A few of my friends saw it and said it was really good. My inner Mario fan was excited after hearing the movie is good. Yeah, for real. They, like... It's one of those movies where for some reason it got review bombed. I don't remember, did I talk about this on stream or was I just talking about this in like a Twitter message? I think I was on Twitter. Where basically, so Nintendo, right? Sorry, I'm just gonna pause forging for a second to talk about Mario movie. Because I just want to say this. Nintendo was about store reset in 13 minutes. Oh, cool. Oh, I hope I don't get... They're gonna disconnect me from the server and I'm gonna lose a bunch of progress. Yeah, well, but I've got a smart guy helping me. You. Oh, thank you. So Nintendo were like, yeah, let's make this Mario movie. They got with I forget who it was making it. It might have been Sony even that was going to make it originally. They got someone else that was going to make it originally. They showed up. They went over to the studio of the people who are making it to see what it was like making a movie. They were like, yeah, so what's entailed with, what does all this entail? And they show up and they looked around. They're like, this is like making a bunch of cutscenes for video games, but then putting no video game in between them. This is exactly what we do all day, all year long, every single year. Why don't we just do it ourselves? And so they were like, okay, never mind, guys, and they canceled their contract with the company, and they went and made it themselves, and that's why they animated and produced and everything, the movie themselves. And that tends to tick off people in Hollywood, including reviewers. So on Rotten Tomatoes, which doesn't really, it's not a super important website, it's not like it's the best review place or anything. On Rotten Tomatoes, they have a review score of something like 40-something% from reviewers, from like professional reviewers. And then they've got like 90-something% from, actual fan like viewers, like real viewers of the movie. And it's like, okay, so this is one of those cases where they were assholes basically, and this is what's going on. Illumination helped them make it. Okay, so they did get some help, but yeah, in the end, I'm just saying that they probably ticked off a little bit of Hollywood by switching and trying to do it themselves. But yeah, let's see. I think we need to figure out what we're doing with this glass now, because I paused for probably a while there. Let's see. Okay, so I think that the stairs should not come straight down into glass, so we should have a little bit of framework right there, which is going to determine our final shape. Mainly in part because, yes, I'm going to replace these with the other staircases that will fit here, but that's my thinking. I don't know if that's actually true. That's my thinking of probably what happened. They're probably a bunch of reviewers who are in the pockets of like Sony, who are like, oh, we can't have Nintendo breaking into movies. That'd be one more competition. You know, and yeah. Or maybe it's something else, but you know, it's probably related to that. And they don't want another major movie studio breaking in, and it being so good is a really bad sign for all of them. You know what I mean? Let's see. Medium, it might be the small one, but that may not be enough height. Yeah, it's not quite enough, so if I do... Let's see. Extra small, medium. Medium is too tall, because that's going to be poking into... I'll have to really hide that. I don't want to delete the old staircases yet because I want to know their scales. So yeah, let's see. I've noticed the stairs are scalable vertically. Yeah. Or aren't, yes, aren't, exactly. And these aren't even scalable horizontally. Like, these can scale... Whenever you go to scale them, they have that option and that option. But then no vertical scaling. These only have width, so once you but they're at the same angle you have your stairs at, so all I need to do is make sure that they match, you know, width-wise, and I can use that and let it poke through and then hide the bottom of it. But I was also thinking, what if I just double up the extra small under the small? Because that will fit pretty much exactly. Let's see if I can snap it actually to see how well it fits up. It matches up. Oop. Too far into the ground. Okay, it doesn't quite touch there. And it's not quite touching up here, so maybe that's not enough. Yeah, not that one. And I don't think 2 of this one is any better than doing a medium, so I think I'm just going to do a medium and hide it. And hide the base of it. It would be nice, like, if they'd done, like, a procedurally generated staircase, that, like, you increase a number and it adds more rungs to it. Oh, actually, that's still, I think, better than the medium. Yeah, that's still better than the medium. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 of the smalls on top of each other, like that. So, yeah. Let's see. Got Pathfinder illuminated in Halo Funtime. Really? That's cool. You can always raise the floor if you want to. I will if I need to, but I don't think I will. I think this is going to be perfect right here. I think this will just barely be larger than the floor. Which one was Pathfinder? So I don't remember it by name, but I was just wondering if you wanted to send me a link to it, so I can also post that on the like show it on the stream real quick. Like I don't need to hop into it, but I just mean like I can pull up a picture of it and like show off the. And you could post in the chat. Duh. Yeah. Let's see. Now, considering Nintendo got Hollywood to make them their first Mario movie, don't blame Nintendo for mostly making the movie by themselves. Exactly. Illuminated as a file in recommended. Okay, cool. Yeah. If it's in recommended, then I guess you don't have to send it to me. Here's my question. Should I make this like an artsy fartsy, like, you know, staircase where like you've got the stairs in the middle and then like a slope on the side and all that kind of stuff? Like that's one of the things I really like to do, is that I haven't really done on any of my other maps, which y'all see me do, but I love the design, is framing your staircase with a big old chunky, like, you know, slope that is effectively plays exactly like the staircase. You know what I mean? It's at the right height. That it is just a big old ramp. You know, the staircases are just ramps anyway. You can power slide up them, which doesn't make any sense in any known laws of physics unless you're trying to consider the energy shields, which whenever Master Chief turned them on in the book, felt like he was on ice skates until he powered down the shields underneath the soles of his boots at least a little bit so that he could grip the ground a little better. So if you were to, like, when you power slid, your Mjolnir increased the energy shields under your legs, then you could theoretically power slide up a slope like that, because it would create like a liquid almost, according to the laws of physics, behaving like a liquid according to the novels, kind of material under you. But anyway, Y'all are saying things, and I am just rambling. Also, forge bugs are one of the reasons why I took a break from Halo. Yeah, forge bugs is the reason why I took a break from finishing your map, is because of the weirdness that was going on there. It was previously maps only, but got updated today for at least 2 prefabs or game modes it recommended. Awesome. Oh, illuminated. That's okay. Yeah. I've always thought those stairs function well, but look weird with the dead corners. Yeah, how I just sort of like, I'm gonna walk up the stairs, conk. Yeah, no, I gotcha. Do you remember what every area is? I wish I had a good memory. I do. Okay, so this is gonna be a window down into, this is like the observation deck, I suppose, where like for the Oni excavation that's going underneath here. Over here is going to be UNSC headquarters. This is the loading and unloading of materials and personnel. This is like where vehicles come in and out with a door, and there's going to be one on both sides. With an exterior area, I'm thinking about wrapping around the outside of the building, but definitely wrapping this way. And it's part of the oversized area. And then let's see, these little S bins. S is for security, think of it that way, so you'll never forget that those are security. These are gonna be where the barracks are located. I just threw in this random door for like 2 seconds, and for some reason it came in with like this sand texture applied to it, and I have no idea why. I think there's something bugged on your map that made this doorway like spawn with sand as its texture. But anyway, so this is going to be the barracks. That's going to imply why they're on the bench next to a giant doorway that's going to open up and go into the barracks. That's going to be out here. And then let's see, and that's why this feels like a very like, this is like an artsy, almost like people, having conversation around this area, because it's really nice, to hang out. Up here might be like a hydroponics area, because it's sort of cut off from the rest, and you're going to need oxygen, fresh air, and that's the best way to do that than to grow plants. So I might deck this place out with hydroponics, like on the walls and stuff. Kind of like they do in the one that's just a hydroponics space station. I forget what it's called. What is that one called? Aquarius? Yeah, I think that's it. Anyway, the ramp comes up around here, and then this is going to be Oni headquarters. Going to be very dark and broody and ominous. I loved how looking up at this is like, catwalks and everything's integrated, and it's very like military, put together what they needed. And that's like, no, we're gonna specifically go out of our way to segment this away from the rest of the buildings. Everything else slopes down like it's bowing down to Oni's, control. So I really like this sort of aesthetic of that building being an Oni. Like, I looked up at it and I just thought that's an Oni building, you know what I mean? 3 minutes. Oh, is that whenever he starts streaming? Let's see, I've always thought those stairs function. Let's see, do you remember what every area is? I was thinking, what if the ramp by the loading bay was graded? Looked like a bridge that slides down, but you can see through it to give scale. If I can do 3 minutes, 3 minutes for the, the shop update. Right. So we might have a server problem at that point, so I'll save it and quit and go back in. I know that the servers for Forge, I think, reset a little bit later than the rest, so maybe we may not have a server problem yet, but I'll still do it anyway, just to clear it. So the Oni base is going to have the elevator out front, and so it's going to be like, they could raise that and become a castle, you know what I mean? Like, Oni would want to just, like, be able to close their door or not let people in. If that one went up there and just stopped there, they would just have the height advantage, because the entrance is going to be probably up here. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get access to the Oni building until you get to the 3rd floor, and then you have to go down into the rest of the structure. You have to descend into the structure from above. Something to that effect is what I was thinking. Like a castle, design doctrine. Are there Oni decals? I don't think there are, but we can make them. They have triangles and circles and stuff like that, and they have their Oni decal is basically a triangle. It's the Illuminati eye, but like a fancy sci-fi looking Illuminati eye. So that's what we'll be able to pretty quickly throw that together. And so I think that covers everything, because I did it all on that side, but over here is going to be the same. It's going to be a mirror with, yeah. I kind of feel like, yeah, exactly, yep. I kind of feel like the way that I designed it, or the way that, like, not that I picked the rooms and the way you built it happens to fit this sort of funny kind of idea that like the UNSC was building their base and they don't trust Oni spooks, so they surrounded Oni in 2 barracks in case they needed to. You know what I mean? In case they needed it, they put 2 barracks, one on each side, which was for Oni's protection, but was a little bit so they could keep an eye on Oni because they don't trust them. You know what I mean? And then you've got this structure in the middle that allows them to safeguard the structure down here. You know, if the Covenant show up, they've got cover from both sides. And then also Oni's troops. Yeah, it's very cool. I love the storytelling of that map. Yeah, it's like, it all kind of like, I like interpreting stories to make them make sense. Like, to make them make more sense. It's kind of my specialty, and it's why whenever I was watching the Halo TV show, I was like, every single episode, I was like, no, it's cool. I know it was a little wonky, you know, they're just finding their legs. In the future, I bet this is where the plot's going from there. And then, like, every single episode, I was disappointed because every single time I was like, I bet they're gonna do this soon, like maybe not in the next episode, but in a couple episodes, and then the next episode come out, and what would happen in that episode to make what I said impossible, and then it was not possible anymore. So then there was no making sense of it out of what they had done. So I'm gonna delete one of these and keep the other one for snapping alignment, and then what I'm gonna do is store sucks. It reset and has bad stuff. Or is boring. I mean, I'm just not too worried about store, as always. Oh, I adjusted these wrong. I need that back, actually. I'm dumb. I scaled this one up with the intent to snap it to this one, and then I forgot about that and snapped this one to that one. And snapped them wrong, so yeah, I need to... Or maybe I did? Maybe I didn't. Anyway, it's as wide as the actual original ramp, so never mind. Stinky fracture items. Oh, is it that the annoying... I don't like the current fracture core. I mean, there are people who do like it. I think it could be cooler if it looked more like... Personally, I feel like they should have made it look even more like the guy from... Like, what is his name? The guy from that game... Crysis. The bar for the entire Xbox 360 generation for graphics. You know? Okay, so if we use this ramp, right? Can this ramp be adjusted in enough positive ways to make it work with these stairs that we're planning to put in here? Yeah, it's moving by object and it's making it very wonky, which means it's having trouble with the mouse and keyboard. It turns out that's what that is. Nope, you've got to scale it in all directions. Oh, it's the right slope, though. Because it's the right slope, this one will work. Because it happens to be the slope that the ramps already are. I don't know why I am snapping by 4. But yeah, okay, there we go. So this should work. This should be fine. Yeah. I do need to scale it up a little bit more. I don't understand why it takes so long to slope. But this will basically give me the mechanical thing, and it'll give me the artsy... Oh, no, I can't do the width properly. I mean, I guess this could just determine... Like, there's no reason it can't be this wide of a slope. Sometimes they put the slope in the middle, by the way, and then have the stairs be on the left and right. And maybe I could do that. Like this in the middle, and then some other slopes on the sides, and the stairs on the left and right. Might be cool. Let's see what that would look like. Like if I put this here... Ugh. This whole annoying, Here, I'll just snap it to that for now. Just so we can see what it would look like. This stair is throwing me off, and I need to delete it and rebuild it from here so that I can have it appropriately doing it, so I can actually visualize this. Okay. So it'd be kind of like this. So that it would kind of be like, okay, if you need a dolly to carry, equipment up, you go up the middle ramp instead of going up the stairs with a dolly. You know what I mean? And then you'd have like ramps that are more like a continuation of that column on the side, which we'll have to go like, set up a little differently. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea. A lot of the objects in Forge have some weird magnets Oh, stinky fracture items. Stinky! Yeah. Oh, by the way, I heard the ramps have to be a specific angle for multiplayer. Is that true? Sort of. Wait, like for... Yeah, that's cool to me. Yeah, cool. What is the... Is it like in that list of things that they said for the, Are you talking about that, the checklist that they created? Because if that's the case, if that's listed in there, then I haven't been following that at all during my stuff. Like to be included in a playlist, I mean. Okay, you wouldn't want to roll your wheels into the staircase, but I want it to play like it's all one slope, so we're gonna go there. I heard it's like 26.7 something, or something weird. Okay. Someone told me before. Is that just like a general, like, good advice, or is that like, were they saying that as just general good advice, or was that something like, hey, yeah, we need to, part of the requirements of, you know, Forge Hub, of getting your map into a playlist is to, that they, you know, they just released those things, where they, those requirements for getting into a playlist, and I was thinking, is that what you're talking about? Like, is that the, where the requirements are set, or are you talking about something else? Because that would make sense, I suppose. I kind of like that there's a bit of a I think that feels right to have the plateau poking out, so I'm going to use this to do that, and I'm going to place an object here to be the plateau there. It was someone who said it was a requirement. I forgot the number, and yes. Okay, so we'll look into that, actually. At some point, I wanted to do that anyway, and I haven't actually done that. We could look into that right now for a second, but basically... If you do the Halo one, where is it? Oh wait, official Forge map, here we go. Map design, map metadata, nav points, spawn volumes, map flow. Like, they've got all these instructions now on how to get in there. Game mode objects, map performance, this might be where, that's gonna be about, like actual, like, frames and stuff. Also, no sitting on weapon racks too, lol. Yeah, wait, no sitting on them? Oh, so your weapon racks have to be far enough into the wall that you can't climb onto them. That makes sense. Player blockers keep players in mode objects. Oddball flash projectile blockers help. Let's see. Yeah, so it might be in miscellaneous. I don't know who Sam is. Is she part of the community management team and stuff like that? Kill volume, name, location, volume. But yeah, is she like part, like under, like with Unishek and Sketch in the community team, or is she like one of the actual developers that like what makes maps, and so they had her come in and give this guide, because I know she's the one who posted them all, even if she didn't write them. Maybe, I don't know. Spawn volumes. Okay, nav seed point. You official Halo Discord, right? Well, I mean, it's where you got. This is the only place to see this now, because they phased out what do you call it? So that's cool. They have all that info on Discord. Yeah, it is. This is well, because they're phasing out Waypoint. So yeah, map flow, map intro cameras, team intro object. So yeah, if you guys want to come see this, this isn't like a requirement for being in the game, obviously. What it is it's a requirement for them to consider you to be put into a playlist. Halo Fun Time also has these. Oh, they do? They posted them into there? Oh, okay. Well, I'm in that one too. Where is it? Halo Fun Time. It's right here. Let's see. I don't know where that is. Map setup template, is this it? Or is it something else? No, this is OCOM's setup template. Where is it here? Is it in help? No, probably not. That's probably asking for help. Wait, what? They are getting rid of Waypoint? Well, no, not entirely. Waypoint is going to be where they post their stuff, for their news and stuff like that. It's going to still be their website, but they're getting rid of the forums, because they found that no one is. Oh, it is in help. Okay, cool. Let me go back to help then. There we go. So the the reason they're getting rid of it is because they said they found that, like, they only could ever... They were trying to bring more people to Waypoint to be like, that's where people communicate for Halo. But they were finding that a large percentage of people were just, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save and... They updated the shop. So I'm going to save and quit, close Halo, and reboot it while we're in this talking about the layout. And then we'll keep talking, because I don't want to waste time doing that later, and since the servers might have just reset, and I don't want it to cause bugs for Forge. So we're going to do that really quick while we're chatting. Yeah. So basically, what they did was they were like, yeah, okay, they only ever... They didn't say an exact number, but from what I could tell as far as populations of these sites were concerned, it looked like they had about a third of the people of the Halo fan base on Waypoint chatting in their forums, and then like 50% to 70% were on Reddit, and then like, you know, a bunch of people. There's a bunch of overlap between those, and a bunch of overlap onto YouTube where people were in comments section there, and then a bunch of overlap onto Twitter. But basically, like, a lot of the fan base was like, you know, not in Waypoint, and I'm mainly talking about the most communicative members of the community. The community probably far outstrips the number of people who actually engage in forum activity. So that's just percentage of the people who are in forums. It would be cool to try to aim for matchmaking too. Halo Funtime also has these in help. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. Yes, I was thinking so too. That if we make this good, if it's good enough, then it might get into matchmaking. And then the cool thing about that is that they could just pick if they want to be a 4v4 or a big team battle. So whatever is available for them to want to put it into matchmaking at the time, they could just put it in and keep the script there just to filter out smaller, you know, player pools. But yeah, okay, so basically, yeah, they were like, okay, we could never find enough people to actually do it. I want Waterworks to big team battle. I do too. I would love that. Not just because it would be my map, but because I love Waterworks and I want to play it with more people. And that would be a match. Yeah. And then the thing about it is, like, I don't like setting up custom game maps and then like having to wait for tons of people to join, which takes forever because no one knows it exists. But yeah. Anyway, so they moved over. That's why they're closing down the forums on Waypoint and they're moving everything to here, the official Halo one. Yeah. So there's a Halo Fun Time. Forge checklist, table of contents. Cool. Yeah, it's all basically the same thing, posted by their own, manager over here. Map design, it's all in here too. Okay, so in here we've got jump height without using clamor is 8 units. Comfortable clamor height is 12 units. Grapple range is 80 units. Consider using Halo design set objects for blockouts because they are scaled appropriately for Halo Infinite already. Layout. More casual layouts might be non-starters for a gameplay perspective for core mode playlists. If players can fall to their death, build the map high enough so players feel like they'll die. This also allows for grapple shot saving. Yeah, yeah. So I went and looked through here. Oh, hey, cool. They've got the approximate areas. I believe this is not in... I don't think this is in the official one. Yeah, there's additional information in the Halo Fun Time version. Go check that one instead. Good luck trying to do anything in official Halo Discord. Moderated more than 1940s. Okay, well, Germany. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Let's see. So this is really cool. What happened to my music? We went dead quiet for a second there. Using a block to reach furthest in all 4 directions of accessible area inbounds on foot. Not all of the area is used for these maps. For example, Catalyst is roughly a plus shape and doesn't use the full area. Yeah. So these are, so they actually have areas, which is cool. Start the conversation. Ooh, I'm going to message people I'm going to send somebody useless in here. I'm kidding. That would probably annoy OCOM. Has previews to compare the scale of your big team battle map against fragmentation. High power deadlock found here. Yeah, he I don't remember. Did he make it on stream? Or was he just grabbing them? No, Aaron, you made them on screen. That's what it was. These are different. Oh, they're glass. Interesting. I think they look like they're glass. No, these are King of the Hill zones. That's not what they're talking about. Scale, volume, high power fragmentation. Let's see. Apparently there is this. That's pretty useful. Anyway, we are back into Forge, so maybe I should go back. But where is help? Nope. Get out of that. I don't want to beat. Oh. I accidentally clicked a button. This is how bad I am at Wait, where are we? We're in Happy Fun Time, right? Where's help? There it is. Help. Okay, that's how bad I am at Discord. Y'all saw how bad I was in first hand right there. Okay, chat disappeared for a second. Lol. Oh, can you make the thermal... Can you make thermal glass? That would be cool. That'd definitely be cool. The stream is very confused right now. It's claiming there is -1 people in the views, according to the heartbeat monitor, but it says concurrent viewers right now is 3. So yeah, it's very confused. It always bothers me when that happens. I wish they could just track it better. Anyway, let's go back to forging. Now that we've restarted the game and reconnected to the server, hopefully we won't run into any bugs. But we have seen in the past, we aren't people, lol, we are the void. Yes, you're negative value of people. you're -1 people. But yeah, oh gosh, there was a joke the other day that was about math. Yeah, anyway, it was about mathematicians counting people as negative people whenever they leave a building if they didn't know they were in there to begin with. Anyway, it was silly. We are the void. Oh, Discord. Here we go. Let me pop that over there. Discord. Aaron. Here we go. POV, you are in the official Halo Discord.
Just relax. Bam! 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 Shit is easy. This
Accurate. Yeah, I mean... Yeah. A pic I took in Unreal Engine Fortnite last night while high. This is Shitography Studio. You use the dragon to set up a Goku and Shinron. Brilliant. Anyway, okay. That's brilliant. How do I... Okay, so what are we gonna do for the slope? I want to make it look nice. I mean, I could continue this appearance. If this is how they build this base, then they'd probably continue doing this. And this one would probably be roughly the right length. So, why is it not letting me move? Yeah, that was cool. Like, Unreal Engine Fortnite is very flashy and fancy, and I am very jealous of some of the things they can do. So if I make this slightly wider, I can keep the width that I had over there. And then I just need to adjust its length. But it's gonna get to the point where it's starting to scale these dots into a weird way, so I think I will just scale it to the width that we're looking at here instead. Specifically, like, I set that weld point right to the middle of that, then it should scale. I think, actually no, it scales properly. Never mind. It scales in a useful way, so never mind. I have to snap that there, and then I can do this. Bring it in. There we go. I think that's pretty close to mirrored. Let's bring it a little bit further in. There we go. And then we need that to be the correct height, so more like that, but we gotta drag it over now to make it line up. Let's see, perfection. Let's see now. Oh, nope, we did it wrong. Or I did it wrong. Y'all are like, psh, don't blame me. Saying we did it wrong. You're the one doing the joystick, buddy. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Object. Okay. Grab that green, bring it over, line it up. Let's actually bring it up too, because that will let me... Oh no, I grabbed 2 directions at once. That's gonna undo all of my movement. because of the way that the undo button is working right now. Okay, so we want this to be right there where it's like clipping through, but not all the way up because apparently it's at a slightly different angle. So I will have to adjust the angle, but it's pretty close. And then line that side up, and now we've got ourselves a good chunky boy in position, and then I just put a slope underneath that, and then I've got to flip it. No, stay horizontal in my rotation. There we go. Okay, and then we grab that. Oh, not vertical. Bring it up all the way up here until it's clipping, just barely clipping through the floor. And then actually I'm going to turn it around again and bring it up. Oh, I got to bring it back, not up. Or no, I need to bring it forward because I need it to line up with that. So I'll just leave it here for now. But let's see. Show your Discord. Oh, you doing it wrong is better than anything I do right, lol. Oh, okay, well. Wait, I just showed it. I just showed this, by the way. Photography Studio. I think you dipped out to probably post it, and then you came back. But I literally just showed it off the Discord, the Goku and the Shinron. It's so cool. That's what they were saying when they were saying that was cool. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Can you script it to let you make a wish? Like maybe not you specifically, but can you get someone to script it so that you can make a wish on the Shinron? Because that would be amazing. That would finalize the concept. Okay, so we want this to be... I think I'm going to have to just not use the snapping. Well, actually, wait, there's something there it's trying to snap. That's good enough. And then whenever I scale it out, because that centered this. Yeah, I think so anyway. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna grab something. Okay, this is what I've been using. This is a regular rubber, right, with damage, or with a grime layer that is scratched rubber. So it makes a really nice, like, worn, like, grip, like floor grip kind of design. And I just have concrete underneath, just in case it's visible, it'll look like concrete. So that's what I'm gonna do over here. So I'm gonna snap this into, I'm gonna find the center point. I guess I'm done with these. With that, because I've got I figured everything else out, so at this point I can just delete that. Why is it moving so weird? It's still doing that thing where it's like, it's not quite moving correctly because of the, okay, first I gotta get my size off of this. Like that. And then, oh, nope, wait, there we go. Yep, moving around too much. Y'all said something. I think that would be possible. Yeah, like if you could find a way to... I am scaling in all directions. If you could find a way to make it to where it could let you make a wish. I'm not sure how you'd make your wish or what you'd wish for. But, yeah. In the middle of a match, make a wish on the Shinron to, you know... just to win. I don't know. There we go. That's aligned now. And this one can align to that. And that should be, and then this one can align to there. So that should work for our floor alignment. Okay, there's a bit of a bump. I felt like there's a bit of a bump, but maybe not. Okay, whenever I accidentally scaled it up in all directions, I accidentally found the perfect depth for this to line up. So that's good. That's fantastic. I think that, by the way, with these textures, I've definitely had some weird moving bugs too. Yeah. It's like, sometimes whenever you're moving by object, it feels like it won't go in the direction you want, and I think what it does is it inverts. Like, left becomes right and forward becomes backward. Like, it completely inverts, which is actually, consequently, I don't think this would be considered breaking NDA enough to matter. My wife had to test that on God of War, because they had a mode where you could invert movement and cameras. She was required to invert both and play like that, and I was like, who would ever play the game this way? I don't think this is necessary to test, guys. But yeah, it apparently was deemed necessary to test. Yeah, it was dumb. That's exactly what I was going to say. See, yeah, exactly. It feels like it's bad. It's like inverted. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, rubber. I really like the grip arrows for ramps where you're going to be going up and down with a with any kind of like equipment, because it looks like, you know, it's there. Hey, you used it here too. Cool. I really like that. I think that's great. I also think that I'm gonna have to scale this down, and since it doesn't allow you to pick any of the directions, I'm gonna have to make that area in the middle a little skinnier, because I'm realizing that if I want this fancy design, so I need to make the fancy design not be eaten, not be devoured by the floor. So let's bring that in. I also, yeah, I definitely want to bring it in a little bit more so I can get more of that in there. I do like that they put that frame down there, though, because I think the reason they did that is so that you have some wiggle room before you run out of slope whenever you're digging it into the ground like that. They knew that they were creating a slope that was kind of hard to position, and they apparently tried to account for it to some degree. Just a little more back, scaled up again, and then we can... Oh man, it's just barely not touching, and that bothers me. Okay, that little tiny click should be enough. Okay, now we need to redo the width again of this centerpiece, and snap it back. So we need to snap it back to here, and drag this in, and then that should be... That should be right. How much does it protrude over here? Oh, no, we want that. Apparently the alignment of the magnets is to have that poking out just a tad. So for this to be in the middle, and then this one, and then they all snap together in the middle, and then this can get wider, and then we will have our slope. My wife is in game dev. Well, she's QA. So she's in game development, but she's not one of the devs. So yeah. She was working for Santa Monica Studios. Let's see. Right now, she's on furlough, which is, you know, industry standard. They take a break. Why is it scaling up no matter which direction I go? Oh, because I need to go down, not up. I'm going slightly up with my left and right. I was trying to scale up, but I was scaling to the right rather, so I was pushing the joystick to the right, and I was going up with it, and I was making it do that. Okay, but yes. Also, I got some food for myself. Nice. You should get some for me. I'm just kidding. I'd have to send you my address for you to order me pizza, and I don't think you want to order me pizza, and I don't want to send you my address, so we're not going to do either. Lamau. Oh, that's cool. How the heck did she get into that? So awesome. Well, we met each other working in QA at Electronic Arts, which was really laid back and fun, but not a great place to get paid and do a job. I fell through the map. So we actually met in QA. We were in game development. I was inside the floor. We were in game development whenever we met, and yeah. We worked together and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. I did. I worked for EA. It was, you know, I worked on a lot of different games. First I worked, it was just QA. I mean, QA is like the bottom rung. Everybody like kind of shits on QA. It's like a fraternity where everybody shits on QA. But basically, no, I mean, not really. I mean, they try to pretend like they don't, but they do. That's one of the reasons that my wife loves Santa Monica Studios, is because they don't there. And whenever God of War won all those awards last year, 2 years, when did God of War win the awards? Is that the end of last year? I think it was the end of last year, right? For some reason I'm feeling like it's been like a year, like 2 years. Anyway, whenever they won all those awards, they thanked QA a lot, and it was like really, really nice of them, and it was really cool. They actually appreciate their QA over there, which was really nice. But most of the time, you know, companies like, you know, basically shit on QA. So your wife on her way to make the next gen God of War. Yes. Let's see. But yeah, oh, you said just next God of War. I read next gen for some reason. Like it was going to be a, like they were coming out with another console before the PlayStation 5 ever even really sells any copies because they didn't have any copies on the market. Yeah, no, that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. But yeah, so basically, yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, we met in QA and all that stuff. It's pretty awesome. And let's see. Let me scroll this. This is gonna look bad if it's super thick. Yeah, I don't like the gigantic, thick, chunky. It looks good in some places whenever you do that kind of thing, but I think I want to actually. Can I undo this scale, please? I don't think it's gonna let me. I wish I could, but anyway. I want to scale it up again, but only a little bit. I want a really thin layer of rubber, like that's where the, you know what I mean? Like that's how thick that piece of rubber is, you know what I mean? Ah, we aren't quite as wide as the chunk. Somehow I didn't quite line up correctly. I lined up with the, oh, okay, it's because I lined up with the staircase before, but I think the staircase gets wider at the top, the one that you had before here. Anyway, yeah, so I think I was in the middle of saying something, but I don't remember what it was about QA. Oh yeah, no, I was going to list the games I worked on so you know what I did. But I worked on NBA Streets for 1 week, and then I worked for about 2 months on a game called Monopoly Streets, and then I got moved over to Dragon Age 2's DLC, which was the one where I forget what they're called because I never actually played Dragon Age outside of work. As much as I've always thought, yeah, it's kind of cool looking, I might play that. I never actually started it. Because I wanted to start from the beginning, and then, yeah, anyway. Dragon Age 2 DLC, the one with the Italian-French combo, like the combination of Italian and French culture people, that I forget what they're called. The Chateau, I think the DLC had something to do with Chateau something. Mario Odyssey still holds up. What is going on? This is Mario Odyssey? How? Oh, right. Yes. I do. Yeah, you go into like 2D realms and stuff. Yeah. Okay. I understand now. Yes. But yeah. And then after the DLC, I worked on a game called Warp from like the beginning of the project, and that's a really cool Xbox Live Arcade game that I highly suggest anyone who wants to play a cool arcadey style game that has an Xbox 360, because it's probably not on any newer ones. Why is it not moving? Okay, now movement is really weird. Oh, I snapped myself to 16 for some reason by accident. Okay. I hit my joystick, the D-pad in the wrong direction. Anyway, yeah, I suggest that if anybody is inclined to play such a game, that you should give it a try, because it's a really cool one. I'm gonna make this slightly wider to fill out the rest of this, because I think that's a good width anyway, or maybe I'll just line it up with the edge of the column. And then I'm gonna make this one wider as well to do the same. And then I was on The Sims for the rest of the time I was at EA. The Sims 3 and then The Sims 4, which, if you're going to play either of those, play The Sims 3. IMO. But yeah. I remember Fez, also good, Xbox Live Arcade. Yeah, game. Fez was really good too, yes. I liked that one. Creator of Fez, kind of a dick though. Okay, I don't know. That's I believe you. I don't know. I didn't know he was a dick. How is he a dick? Let's see. Okay, here we go. Boom. Lines up okay. I think both of them need to be adjusted in depth, like the how far down they go. And yeah, QA is a pretty fun game. It's a pretty fun job though. And if you ever feel like getting into it, or feel there's like a job opening around nearby or whatever, then I highly suggest it. It's very fun. The downside to it, and this is something you have to know beforehand, is that you will be almost certainly working as a contract position, and that means you will be effectively fired at the end of the year. For like 3 months or so, they will effectively fire you, and then they'll hire you back later. Looks freaking great, man. Thank you for the map. That's how I would say looks freaking great, man. That may not be how you would say it, but yeah, that's just the name of the game whenever I read out your stuff. But yeah, this is looking really cool. I do like that. I agree. I agree that it looks great. It's like in Mean Girls whenever she's like, so you agree? You're pretty. You think you're pretty. Yeah, no, I agree. It looks great. Let's see. So I feel like the gray parts could be something else, and I'm leaning toward, let's try it, I'm leaning toward yellow like caution tape. You guys know I like yellow. You guys know I like caution tape. Actually, no, I didn't know those were separate sections. This should be gray, or maybe even black to match the stairs. This should be like a dark gray or black. Maybe I'll match it to those side panels. And then this one should be the caution tape because it's got those nice, those like ridges in the trim. Yeah, it gives this like, those aren't black like breaks, like black paint breaks in the yellow dotted line, but it feels kind of like that. Yeah. Oh, the Halo 4 campaign has very cool colors from the UNSC structures. I agree, and I think they do. I think they're the ones who like really get into like caution tape, where they're like really hard sci-fi in their setup. They're like there would be caution tape here because you know the UNSC doesn't want to have their personnel just get killed because these are like you're a Marine who's being sent all over the galaxy, right? So your job is going to entail you going to facilities you are not you're not familiar with. You're gonna need some like guiding lights and tape to really make sure you don't get killed in the process. So I had, I think, some kind of metal worn, metal brush, metal brass worn, metal base metallic. Was that it? I think that's what it was. As my grime layer on the other ones that are on the sides there, so to sort of match it. Oof. Well, that actually makes it look like paint and tape, and that's kind of cool. I like that. But the scratch amount, I think we need to bring up a bit to make it look like it's been well weathered from, you know, dollies driving over it. Hand trucks. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, that looks like someone dropped a... That looks like some idiot new recruit dropped a crate and it started sliding down the slope. That's perfect. That's exactly what we're going after. I like all their yellow and orange, especially the pipes and stuff. Lol. Yeah, exactly. I also like their dull, muted, sort of like almost olive drab green that they use mixed with that yellow. That's why I use it so much myself. Haha, idiot recruit. Exactly. This is like... It's like... right down the like straight lines, like the one object made that. It's an idiot recruit dropped a crate right there and it starts sliding down. So yeah, so effectively this is exactly like the stairs you had before. Effectively it's literally just a slope. We could have put a single floor slope here because it power slide, everything is exactly flush with you know, with each other, but it just looks cool. So it just looks extra cool now. As like a up and a down if you're in America. Probably reverse that. Aaron, do y'all reverse your movement in walking? Okay, Aaron, if you're still here, I'm not sure, but because it's now telling me I have 0 viewers on the line, but 5 concurrent viewers up top. It's still doing its thing. But in America, the drive on the right-hand side of the road even applies to foot traffic, and you would go up here, and you would go down here, and you'd have an asshole new recruit coming, you know, down here, and then you have to move over there and go down there. You know, you'd have some idiot doing it, you know, breaking that. But yeah. And I'm wondering if it's is it like that in Europe where it's reverse as well? I know the driving is reverse, obviously, but is it like that in UK drive and walk on the left? Okay. Well, oh wait, that's Shitography Studio. I think you're American. I don't think you may not know, but you probably do. Anyway, how's object count and all those stats look? YouTube cap, definitely 5 people. Okay, cool. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So we're at 21% on simulation memory. What is that? Okay. That's just a clipping. And what were the stats you're talking about? Which stats were you interested in? These over here for the map. FX count is already at 103%, and I don't even know what effects we have on this map. I'm American, but I went to the UK before 2020. Oh, cool. So are the effects that it is tracking literally just my light? My what do you call it? What is this called? Emissive objects over here? Are those there? Are those the effects? Because, get weapon pads on. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's all the weapon pads. You're right. That's 100% it. Because, yeah, he's already built out the weapon pads and stuff like that. So, yeah. Yes, I think, yeah. There you are. That's why then, yeah. I could be wrong about the walking part, though. Okay, so, basically, yeah. I was thinking it might be that, but you're absolutely right, Aaron. It's, that's definitely that. Okay. Oh. What do you guys think about, this was something I talked about last time, but I think it was right whenever no one was, like, either no one was in chat and I think people were here, but not just what do you call it? Lurking. So, let me see if I can put this up here and ask you guys what you think. Where is it? I think it's near the bottom. Power core, duffel bag, crane trolley, crane top, crane hook, nope, that's not it. Girder, maybe it was higher up and I just forgot. Okay, so I'm gonna have to come up until I find it. I just had this question for you guys. This is a layout question that I wasn't super confident about, and I was wondering about what you guys thought. If I can find it, that'd be great. That's it right there, I think. Nope, that is not it. Where did I pass it up? Like, there's no way it's above here, right? Was it all the way at the top? Ugh. It's taking forever. Let's see. Still going. Dry erase marker, tower, crumpled vent, cooling fan control, panel, conduit cover. Jesus, not the concrete. Shoot, ceiling, corner deco, ceiling conduit. It must be all the way up here. Like, where is it? Did I pass it up? Yeah, I must have. Okay, I don't know where it is. Okay, y'all know that thing that looks like a crane, like a ceiling crane sliding thing. I must have passed it up. It must be in here somewhere. But y'all know what I'm talking about, right? I was thinking about putting it along here to explain why these two doors are facing each other but not connected by a bridge, as being something that some means that they like load and unload. I just can't. This is it here. Overhead track. There it is. I passed it up last time. Okay. Here we go. Finally found it. Sorry that took so long, everyone. Okay, so this thing here, like if I may even embed it into the ceiling. I don't know why it's so dark. I feel like it isn't normally this dark. But anyway, okay, so basically, what do you mean walk on the left? Never mind, it's a multiplayer. Oh, whenever you have two people passing by each other in America, you treat it like you're on a road. So it's kind of like, you know, a queue, I guess. But anyway, like if I was walking up this stairs and there's someone coming down, he would move over to the side. If it was most convenient and no one else was around, he would obviously just use the faster staircase. But if there was someone coming down the stairs and we saw each other coming, most people would be polite and move over to the right and go down that way because we drive on the right. And then we just go up this way. So then, yeah. So you guys just go, well, he's on the staircase first. You know, so you guys treat it like a queue. You're like, okay, he's on the stairs first. I have to take the other stairs. Like that? Or do you just like pause and wait for him to come down and still take the faster staircase? Basically, any of these make sense. I'm just like, I was just wondering because we were talking about the double staircase down here. And I was just curious, where did it go? I just had it. Where am I? Okay, here we go. Yeah, where I was just like, double staircase, it's like you can have someone going up and someone going down. I was just going to ask you which direction at the time, so I was just like curious what that goes, how that works over there. Yeah, so we have like a sort of, that's like, I know that in Europe, being at least in Britain, but I don't know if it's all of Europe, where it's very like if you handle your queue very specifically, or else you're an asshole. And in America, where like our lines like meander and have like weird breaks in them and like turn around corners in awkward ways and stuff like that. And we're very disorganized, never in a straight line. So I know that's one thing that's a thing the internet always talks about, but like as a difference. But I was just wondering if the staircases, we take our staircases very seriously. Like if I'm having to go down a staircase and you get in my way, it's like, oh, come on, man. it's obvious I'm on the right side. You need to get over there, you know? And so it's almost like you know, that's our version of the queue. Especially in New York. I've been there before. It's like you definitely, you walk on the, if you're in a crowded city like New York, you better adhere to the rules of the thing, or else people are going to give you some very stern looks. Or if you're in New York, they might just cuss you out. Anyway, this track, I was thinking about making this track potentially connect to, you know, UNSC HQ, something like this, and go all the way. I don't know if I will go all the way or if I'll just make it like a little movement right there. But if it goes like up to where it's not in the way of the sandbox. Oh, I did not mean to select two things. Let's just magnet. That would make it a lot easier to line this up. Boom. Not literally this, maybe something similar to this. That feels like a line going all the way up. I'd probably have to do some kind of scaling and weirdness with it. But anyway, the point is, something that would come down here to the dig site that would maybe bring a crew or something to that effect down here, and would be the reason why this bridge can retract and close. Like there's sometimes a bridge right here, but it is closed right now. It's like closed off. And basically this is just sort of a visual to explain it. And I could even like hang a crate right here. You know what I mean? Something that like would be moved between the dig site and, you know, the situation over here, the HQ and the stuff. In which case we could even put down in the storage area a lift that looks like it's for crates that like goes up, that like it looks like an automated system that goes up and would ride along this rail. If you know what I mean, like what do you call it? Whereas the crane, it'll be really easy to find crane. And I probably passed it up. It's down. Yep. Okay, here we go. This will be a lot easier to find because it has crane in the name. I know what it's called. So the crane trolley, like we could theoretically use a crane trolley to sort of look like, yeah, let's do the middle of the crane trolley to here. Oh, that's not the middle. And then scale it in to look like the track, the thing that carries the crates. I did this on the other map to make it like a lift for the door in the base. And basically, you just make it kind of ride along. You can either just make it right along this rail, or you can make it right along the main portion and make the rail look like what it's like sort of gripping to. And in this case, we can actually make it wider, which will make it look a little nicer. Boom. And it kind of just looks like it's something that would ride along that. And people are going to look up at that and not be able to see it close enough to see that it doesn't make any sense whenever you look at it up close and stuff like that. But anyway, you said stuff to annoy. Okay. Just anyway, doesn't matter which way. Production version of Guardian looks pretty cool. Same with crossing roads, just go wherever you want. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. We have the street walk, the crosswalks, and it's illegal to cross without going on a crosswalk, because if someone hits you and you're not at a crosswalk, they'll still be liable for hitting you in most states, but some states or some cities, they won't even be liable for hitting you. Unless if you're not on the crosswalk, you'll be liable for having walked across the street off of the crosswalk. And see, it's annoying when they try to go the opposite way into you when all they got to do is move to their right. Exactly. Maybe it goes over into the middle of that courtyard and has a hole to the ground that feeds the boxes up. Very nice. Yeah. So if we do something like this, then we can, and I can put it up here to where it doesn't even affect the layout. Like, you've got your box out. Haha, Americans. Exactly. It's always like, it's like there's something people are ornery about. Like, I know that in Europe, people are, like, ornery about queues, and they will, like, if you just, like, stood out of the line, or the internet says that if you, like, if I were to be in a queue, but I didn't stand directly behind the person in front of me, I stood one full person to the right, but still claimed I was in the queue, it would annoy everyone. From what I understand, it would annoy like 90% of the people. I'm sure there are enough laid-back people over there that wouldn't even give a shit. But that's what I hear, is that it would annoy everybody. And then similarly, if you go up the stairs wrong here, we would be annoyed as shit if you did that. We would just be like, why are you doing this? I'm clearly on this side because it's the right-hand side. You should get out of here. But yeah, so then what I could do is actually put another one here. Okay. Let's make it. I'm trying to snap this one, like the bottom ones. That works. Put another one here that goes up, right? And then have maybe a crane top involved. If it's not, you know, if I can scale it down to be like, yeah, it will deliver it directly to this crane, which is connected to this dig site, in which case I would want to make the glass look like it can open. It's just closed right now. You know what I mean? And that would make sense. There are no snap points on the cranes. I forgot about that. It's really frustrating. I don't understand why you would make such an enormous and useful piece. Actually, did I show you guys what that Unicy, like, what the launch... Okay, remember how, yeah, on the other map, that we're working on, the launch pad for the Saber, I added something to it that's really cool. And let's see, definitely in Florida there are no rules to anything. Lol. Yeah, oh, that's because Florida Man lives there. Germ guy, that's because Florida Man lives there. The music stopped. Let me turn that back on. But that's just what I hear online. If I'm wrong about that, please tell me. Like, about the whole, like, you know, that people will care so much in Europe about the queue thing. That's just what I hear. That's just rumor. Rumor has it. I've never been there. I want to go. That would be great. Why is this no longer snapping to this one now? Because I scaled it up too much, and now it doesn't like it. Come on now. Okay, now we're gonna just drag it down with the mouse, because... So basically, I know this is a very common conversation that people have online, so maybe it's tread ground, but I just am curious. Let's see. Okay. I am a Florida man. Yes, I am also a Floridian. Nice. Show us really fast. Okay, yeah. I'll show y'all guys by hopping over to the other map real quick. Because it's really cool. Y'all are scaring Aaron, it looks like. Y'all are Florida mans. I mean, I'm from Louisiana, so, you know, I eat gator too. We just don't, we're just, you know, a little bit more laid back. I heard there's someone who explained the Louisiana accent, by talking about, by explaining that Louisiana accent is basically, especially the thicker ones, not mine. Mine's a little bit there. Mine's there, but trust me, there are thicker ones. I'm sure y'all hear it, but for me, I don't even hear my accent, but I do, I barely do, but like, I have to try to hear my accent. But the people who live in New Orleans generally have a thicker accent than Baton Rouge. It's very Cajun. Or not like Swamp Man Cajun, where you can barely understand them, like the guy, what's that guy that's in like all of the, he's in all of like Adam Sandler's movies, like he talks like, he's so thick. I can understand him. If you guys have ever listened to that, seen that guy in a movie, and he's like, oh yeah, and he does all that weird talk, I can understand that guy. Because he has a Louisiana, he's got a very thick Bayou accent. Like, not even like Cajun anymore. You guys are saying stuff. So, Ohio here, nice. Florida man is popular because of the press freedom in Florida. Yeah, it's greater than most states. It is, yes. I know that's the reason, and everyone has crazy people like that. But it's just funny that it's Florida man. Can't have shit in Ohio. Also, Discord. For real, bro. My aunt lives in Louisiana. I have no clue where, but yeah, lol. Nice. Okay, so I just want to show you guys this. Why is it so choppy right now? Oh boy, did they change something about FX, and now my FX budget is destroying my frame rate? Man, something's going bad. I have not loaded back into this in like 4 days, and now it's lagging the hell out. I don't understand it. Anyway, what I did was I added some stuff here. So y'all saw me build this, and these are like the magnetic accelerators, because the Saber does not have its launch, what are they called? Launch rockets, but there's also like the tanks are called something. The things that drop off of the thing have a collective term that describes all of them. And so I put a crane here with one of those carts attached to the landing gear, and it feels like a firing, like, you know, rail. Yeah, thrusters, you're right. Escape, like, yeah. Launch thrusters. And they have a term, though, for everything that drops off of it, including the fuel tanks that drop off. But I just can't seem to think of it right now. I adjusted thickness as well. It's a nice, proper, thick, you know, building that actually works and isn't clipping into things like the railing. The side of the staircase right there isn't having trouble. This choppiness is really annoying me. I started building this out, which is part of the base, so it could be scaled, and it was like nice looking. Felt like this was a really good like exhaust looking thing. Like maybe that's sucking in air, and then this is blowing the hot air back out down here, or something like that to cool off all of these. The liquid cooling system that's cooling the magnetic accelerators in here, which would probably get like melt metal hot unless you had some kind of really good cooling system. Yeah, so that's kind of how I did that. And then over here, this is the progress I'm making on this building. I decided to switch it to Oni right before I stopped doing it, so some stuff is still green, but some stuff I'm switching to the Oni gray. And I realized that if they're doing research directly on a Forerunner structure, I'm going to look at Discord in like 2 seconds, then they would definitely be an Oni structure. And I was like, okay, so floors, you know, overlooking the battlefield. I put the doors inside instead of outside, so that I didn't have to make the balcony kind of poke out from underneath the ceiling. And these giant things are really useful for it's a dynamic object with lots of like geometry on it, so it's really useful for being like a big mechanical piece instead of putting, you know, 3 columns on top of each other like I had before. That's 3 objects you got to move with the scripting now. Well, now it's only 1, and so it's a lot more simplified, and it'll be, you know, a lot easier to raise this building than it used to be. So there's a lot of stuff like that I did to this one that I think looks much better. It has these giant, you know, mechanical, like motorized looking things, and then some placeholder floors just where I wanted to figure out my height. Oh, and I also decided that once this building becomes active, there are teleporters here, and what's going to happen is those teleporters are going to lead to these during the Slayer portion of the map only. So you're going to be able to teleport out halfway across the map, which will create some forward momentum and stuff like that, which will be very useful. And also make this building more useful, other than just the sniper tower, which is basically all it was before. And then I realized, you know, making it have something more useful makes people actually want to actively go there, and make enemies actively want to assault it to try and prevent people from being able to flank them. Like if you attacked this base, right? It's so choppy right now, I don't understand it. It's at 17 frames per second. I really got to figure out what's going on here. But anyway, if you're attacking their base, the enemy base, you know, if you came around with, like, let's say a tank, and you're attacking the enemy base, you'd want to continuously go over, pivot, and try and lock that area down, because if they spawn anywhere near here, then they're gonna start teleporting out to right behind you. And I'm gonna have 4 teleporters in here that teleport to each of those positions, as if those are receivers, and they're tapping into the ring's teleportation grid by stealing some of its hex columns, so they can tap into its GPS coordinates. And all they have to do at that point is basically try to, like, slip space portal into the grid at just the right way, because UNSC can make slip space portals too. There's no reason they wouldn't have that tech. They just require the grid parts of the ring to sort of tap into it, is what I was thinking. So they're sort of hacking the teleportation grid the same way that Cortana was able to hack it and was able to control it too. But she had to use the slip space stuff. I also had in mind, really quick, just to toss this down to show you guys something, and I can just do a placeholder thing very easily. Halo design set, floors, floor half angle. Perfect. Snap that back, and we're going to do 45-degree rotation, and then 45-degree rotation, 15-degree rotation, and we're at the rotation of that building. Nope, one more, 5 back. Okay, this I'm gonna check Discord again. I'm gonna check in just a second. Just give me 2 seconds to show this off real quick. Okay, so what I'm thinking about doing is building a structure you may or may not actually be able to go into down here. That's it was actually Ocom working on his map. What's Ocom's map that he's working on right now called? I forget what it's called. The Breakpoint? Something like that. It's the one from Halo Reach. There's a building like this, a bunch of buildings like this that are down underground there. And then I went and I saw his, and I was like, those are kind of cool buildings. And then I went back and reviewed what the underground at the Oni research into the Forerunner structure on Reach was underneath Sword Base, and they had those buildings with the sloped windows. So I'm gonna put those buildings here, possibly one there, possibly have two of them, one there, and did I not just? Oh, right. That wasn't duplicate. That was undo. Possibly one on that side and one over here. And these will be like ways that you can climb up, but onto the building, but also like sort of connect to its structure. And I was thinking maybe have a doorway here that you can go into, or maybe not. But the point is, it would kind of imply the underground area of this thing. And this will be not something that will expand whenever you get more of the building. This will be something that will sort of like whenever it raises up. You know what I mean? Anyway. 17 FPS. I know, right? Okay, so I think when the frame rate tanks like this, for no reason, it's a server issue because this will happen to me, and I'll reload the map and it'll be fixed. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just guessing. That could be the case if it's waiting on signals from the server before actually, if it's waiting for a information from the server before it renders the next frame, and that information is just like milliseconds of extra space, then it might be enough to blow up your, if it's like if it's like a millisecond every single frame, it would add up as you go and, slow it down. No, it's just dynamic objects. It could just be the dynamic objects and I have too many, but it wasn't doing this whenever I placed all those objects. Anyway, I do have a lot of dynamic objects like these that are just going to get deleted, so it shouldn't be a problem. And like, I think these are set to dynamic objects right now. There's a bunch of things that I placed because I was like, I might use this later, and I left it there. No, these are static. I was like, I might use this later, so I'm going to leave it, and I'm not going to delete it yet. But yeah, it might also be, hold on, let's try doing this real quick and see if the frame rate's still the same. Well, it's gone up during the match to 20. Now let's go back to Forge. Okay, now it's at 21, 22. Okay, alright. Something was causing it. Yeah, it was a dynamic object. You're right, go into play mode. Hey! I was trying, I hadn't seen that, but you were suggesting at the exact same time. As soon as you said dynamic objects, we were on the same wavelength. It was like, that definitely helped. I don't know where this came from or why it's here, but I must have, it's like a pulsating light? What is this? Clip-on light. I must have placed this at some point by accident. Unless I had my match settings. Oh man, anyone could have hopped in. Yeah, okay, so basically if I do this, that might be cool. It also might be cool to actually put a window through a really dark, like almost like 90% foggy window, and have some fog in there where I could show the nanomachines like we were considering doing for the buildings whenever they're in the first place, like up tall, and like be like, yeah, there's a cloud of nanomachines building the structure inside, instead of having the concrete. Whenever you go in here, and it'd be like the only place you could go in and see that that's happening. Anyway, it's still a little choppy. Oh no, it's dropping to 17% again. Never mind. I don't know. It's still a little choppy, but it went back to normal whenever it went to 22%. We got up to 22% whenever I went in. Anyway, let's get out of this map and back into the other map. It's coming along. I'm really excited for this map, but I need to give Clint time to catch up, and we have a time limit on the Forge Hub community thing. So I wanted to switch over to something to another one and give myself a break. So we're gonna go over there and continue that. I guarantee it's your dynamic objects. It probably is, and I need more dynamic objects to finish it up. Be it FX or vehicles. Okay, it probably is FX, but it might just be I hope it's not just regular dynamic objects, because, man, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to run into a hard limit on our buildings that's going to rise up. What do you have your FPS set to? I think it limits it to 30. But yeah, aren't dynamic objects always prioritize over static objects and being rendered even when the player isn't looking at them? Oh, you know what? I should probably close all of the game again instead of doing this. Hold on. Exit to desktop. Hopefully that won't cause any problems because I was in the middle of loading into that map. But I should reboot the game real quick because they did the week. Oh, there's a new event. The Fractured Firewall. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I thought it was just the store. But why is it limited to 30? Because my computer sucks. No, because my computer is good except for my graphics card. I've got, I think like, I've got a lot of RAM. It's an insane amount to me, but I know this is becoming standard these days of RAM. I've got a lot of cores. Let me check my task manager real quick. Okay. To remind myself my stuff. Okay, my memory is 32 gigabytes of memory. I'm effectively getting 4.1 gigahertz processing speed with 8 cores. I've got lots of hard drives and stuff like that and good internet and stuff like that. My GPU is like maxing out right now at this. Dedicated GPU memory is only 8 gigabytes. Shared GPU memory is 16. You know, my temperature right now is 55 degrees trying to play Halo. It's very rough. But yes, I did. I'm checking Discord, by the way, because I know, like you're saying, what are your cores running at? What is your min and max set to? What are your cores running at? My CPU is running at 4.1, using about, you know, it's all over the place. Threads, handles, yeah. It's a computer I built like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and it's a budget high-end computer. You see what I mean? Like I wanted to hit the min spec of Halo Infinite, and I ended up getting literally the listed graphics card as the min spec graphics card for, oh, there it is, AMD, it's right there. AMD Ryzen 7 3700X 8-core processor. That's my processor. Where's my graphics card? Radeon RX 570 series. This is literally the min spec for Halo if you do Radeon. If you do this kind of graphics, this brand of graphics card. If you're doing, obviously it's different for if you're doing, what do you call it? The more popular one, GeForce, right? GeForce. Anyway. Oh, okay. Double click on CPU in the top left corner. Wait, what? Okay. Double click on CPU at the top left corner. There's a way to show all your cores and what they are running at. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Show graphs? No. This is not that. That's not what I want either. How do you do that? I know what you're talking about. Change graph to logical processors. There we go. Is that right? Show kernel graph summary view. View memory disk network GPU copy. Nope, that's not it. Is this it? Is this what you're trying to get me to see? This is 16 though, so that's why I'm confused. It's because it's not 8 cores. But CPU 0, CPU 1, CPU 2, 3. What's this then? 15? Why do I have 16 CPU cores according to this? Oh! Is it showing my 8 graphics processor cores as well? Because I think this has 8 as well, right? Maybe? I don't know. That's not it. I forget how to do it. Oh, okay. No, there's another way. It's probably up here. View, refresh, update speed. I don't know. There's probably something here. But, yeah. I know what you're talking about. But yeah. Response monitor, bottom left. Oh, yes. Resource monitor. Yes. Boom. Right. CPU. I think, yeah, this is it. How do you, which one is it that I go to? Disk network, yeah, CPU right here. Anyway, I'm sure this is riveting, but yeah, maybe we should get back to forging, but I don't know. There's another way, unless people want to learn about computers. That's not it. Okay, response, let's see, resources. Yeah. So do I click on, which one of these do I click on for this? Or is it this stuff over here? CPU, views, no. I don't know. Better get closing all those 4K naughty websites tabs for more naughty website tabs for more computer performance. Yeah. Just gotta close all of Chrome. I do have a ridiculous amount of Chrome open, as you can see here. Insane amounts of Chrome. I'm thinking of switching to Firefox. I honestly back to Firefox. Oh, here it is. CPU. No, that's not it. Memory, disk, network. Weird. I don't know. Grr. Yeah, I don't remember how it is either, but they turn green. I know what you're talking about. They're like green monitors. There's a bunch of them. I've done it before. I don't know why. I don't remember how to do it. I'm on Windows 10, by the way. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but yeah. Okay, yeah, you keep saying Discord, and I keep on saying I'm about to look at it, and then I don't. Here we go. Okay. What is this? Mega scans workflows. Ah! That started playing the Halo 3 Vidoc because for some reason it clicked up onto that Chrome up there and started playing something else. Okay, Mega Scans workflows for environment creation in Unreal Engine 5 early access. About to kick into the actual music part of this other one, by the way. I muted it so that I won't get DMCI takedown, because I think it's mainly the visuals that they're trying to show off. What about this, though? Because I think I actually have seen this. Yes, I've seen this video before. It's very good. I do want to... I'm perfectly willing to show it off if you wanted to show me something about this. Are you planning on building a map that's inspired by this in some way? That's it. You had it, lol. They were all on the right. Need a 10K computer to run that, lol. Oh, yeah, to run this kind of graphics. Yeah. This is a, let's see, want to make something like this. Yeah, like a forge version that won't technically be quite as beautiful, but it will definitely, it'll definitely look good. This is going to be next-gen gaming, everything's going to look like this. Except for the stylized art stuff, which, you know, theoretically, this to us right now does not look like bad graphics, but I can see lighting, like if I compared this to real life, taking it all in, it feels a little bit like toys, like plastic, and not like a real video of a scene of this. And I think that that's possibly a system limitation. In 5 to 10 years, people are going to say this looks like shit, and only stuff that actually looks like real life looks good. You know what I mean, or whatever. But I'm aware it's early access. But I'm just saying that like that. I'm not saying this actually looks bad. I'm saying this looks amazing. But I'm just saying that the way that generations work, people are going to say this looks like shit in 10 to 20 years. It's gonna be goofy whenever they do. We're gonna laugh at them, but yeah. Let's see. Want to make something like this as a canvas? Wow, that's realism. To be fair, that video is early access. Oh, let me actually also crank it up higher graphics than my monitor even is, because at least then it will look nicer whenever it's compressed across to you guys. To be fair, that video is early access. Yeah, remember when PS1 games looked insane, lol, or N64 games? That one, SmackDown versus Raw, lol. Yeah, exactly. That PC should be a canvas. Yeah. So, I think this is all very cool. Are you planning on doing, like, this kind of stuff? Like, ruins and stuff in your... Are you gonna like do the ruins and everything in your canvas? Because that would be really cool. That would also be really cool. So this is them actually on location, and you might notice the lighting is different. It looks real now. It doesn't look slightly off. You know what I mean? Like it's picking up on that sort of uncanny valley. Which pick should be a canvas? The desert picks. Maybe that sandstone look. Yeah, I wish that the sandstone, the inherited sand in this didn't have giant, like, shiny silver stones underneath it. 'Cause I wish it looked like this. Looked more realistic, you know? But yeah, ruins, no, but the red rocks, yes. Okay, so it's up to us to put the ruins in your canvas. Okay, okay. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. Maybe that can be Ripshade's next block out is in your canvas. And maybe it can be at night, and it can be a desert on a planet where the you know, the northern lights occur above a desert, and you can combine both of your current projects, Aaron. So now we're back to the rendered one, and you can kind of tell. You see what I mean? Like, it's so realistic, and yet just a little off. You can tell it's the CGI version. And it's like Clone Wars back in the day. But it's so close that it's amazing, and I can't wait for games to look like this, because during gameplay, you're focusing on your target and not on the details. Like if you're in a shooter, you're focusing on your target, and there might be, like, you know, blur effects and wind lines and stuff like that. So all of this will look like it'll be so convincing. And then, or maybe in a third-person game, you're focusing on your sword play and stuff like that, and your target again. You know, you're locked onto your target in, like, Dark Souls or Legend of Zelda, and you're fighting them. You know what I mean? Because Dark Souls is just Legend of Zelda gameplay. A lot of people don't like to admit that, but it is. Like the Mesa biome with dead miners in honor of Minecraft. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about, but you deleted it. To be fair, these don't have grain or anything on the video. It was just straight engine. Exactly. But I'm talking about the way the light is hitting, like the roundness of them. I don't know. There's something about it that is feeling slightly off. And maybe it's something they could tweak in the lighting and immediately fix, you know, and I wouldn't feel that way anymore. But I think it's about the differences. You see how bleached out it's getting from the light, how it's all becoming one color a little bit. It doesn't do that in real life, and it doesn't do that in their video of real life. You can still see, you can still differentiate, you know, between the areas. So whenever you're moving fast like this, it's really convincing. But, and you've got wind effects and stuff like that, but yeah. Let's see, stress testing must be a pain. Yeah, for real. Look at this part. Okay, send me the part. I will go back down. And I'm again, not shitting on it. I think this is amazing. I'm gonna get rid of that notification real quick. I'm just saying that in 10 to 15 years, this is what they're going to be pointing at. And whenever they claim it's shit, this is the thing they're going to be looking at. They'll be like, it just feels uncanny or something weird like that. It doesn't feel uncanny now because we have not seen any better except for real life. So it's like, yeah. Also, that bleaching you're talking about is because of an SDR image. HDR won't have that issue. Okay, cool. But yeah. Let's see. Did you send me a specific part in chat? You said you wanted me to look at this part? You said look at this part. Or did you mean that part of the video that we were watching at the time? And I just clicked out of it. Like whenever it's static and it's not moving and then they go to move stuff, it feels like they're messing with real life, and it's crazy. That part with the white flooring. Okay, let's see. Oh. This part. Ah. Yeah, where they were placing the bricks and stuff. Yeah. It does look like they're, like, playing God, like they're building an actual thing in real life, to me right now. As I'm saying is I think that these are the things they're going to point out later whenever... Oh, cool, a volume that creates a, that creates, like, a procedural, dirt pile. Go back. Okay. Can you give me a timestamp, like if you happen to have it up already? Because I'm not sure which part you're talking about. Was it this one? Or something? It's a different part. Okay. I might have gone too far into it. I might have lost your spot. Was it the bleached out part that I was talking about? This one? Oh yeah, where they're adjusting lighting and it's getting more bleached. I see what you're saying. So it is probably lighting. Pre-alpha procedural test, yeah. It's gorgeous, and I can't wait for games to all look like it. For all realism games, it's a different part. Okay, I need a timestamp to jump to the right spot, because I closed out of it too early. I think you were talking about... Yeah, go to the start of that part. Okay, this part. Oh, okay, I see. We'll start with this blue where she's jittering, and then boom, and they start placing things, and it's like slowly becoming. It feels like literally the Matrix movie whenever like the city would like whoosh in, you know, or like the room that they were gonna be in to fight or whatever, and it's like a pure white room at the beginning, and then they just the weapon racks come in, or any other time that they were in that pure white room, and it like became something, you know what I mean? Like a slower version of that. This is what the operator was doing whenever he was looking at the green text. He was assembling this on the other end of that phone line, you know. But yeah, I should build a mesa biome with dead elite miners and human miners immortality. Paimon's map in honor of Minecraft. That would be amazing. Yes, I know what you're talking about now. Whenever you deleted that message earlier, it was like, yeah. Has anyone ever created that cracked, dry desert look? I don't know that anyone has. It's one part of the video that's a good reference. Yeah. Oh, because they show how they're building it. It's a really great reference. Yeah, because they're showing like how they put the pieces in position. I kind of actually want them to add the rocks from Halo 4 and Halo 2 Anniversaries Forge, because they basically had this rock here, like this one that they're placing. They have like a rock that has that curvature to it, and is basically, it's enormous. It's just this giant cliff rock, and it was fantastic. It was extremely useful back then, and I think it would be amazing in Forge as well. And I know that we can scale stuff up, and they probably have a rock like that you can scale up. But I think having one at that scale that has texture quality set to something that high, I don't know. Like starting off really high, I don't know. Anyway, it's on the part of the video that's a good, yeah. Halo 2A would be nice, yeah. I want to terrain editor a little. I know exactly which ones you mean. Yeah, exactly. It's the ones that, if you go watch Rejected Shotgun, he rebuilt them for Halo 3's Forge and rebuilt them for Halo Reach Forge, just so that people could use them, because they're just so useful. It's just like, it's so hard to beat them. We do have a smaller rock to it, but you can change color or materials on it. Look, it's up to 25 FPS, and I didn't change anything this time. I don't know. It must have been my computer designating, like, you know what could have been happening? Chrome might have been updating. Chrome, or it could be network thing. If the network adjusted, then it would be different. But yeah, we do have a smaller rock to it, but you can't change color or materials on it. That's true. Imagine that piece with swappable terrain types would be nice. Yeah, they do have the different versions of the rocks, and that's kind of that, but it's not exactly. I mean, I could make that rock out of miscellaneous ones. Yeah, that's true. Where's that lift you were gonna show us? Oh, I quit out of the map already. You haven't seen, because there's a lag. Ugh. Yeah, the lag in the network. Oh my god. Okay, the lift I was showing you was the one for the launch site, with the jet, where I was showing you how I put the crane vertical and then set that like that yellow piece there, the crane cart there to look like it launches. But yeah. Actually, it's not live on my thing either. I just realized I'm behind on my live view. There we go. Now it's live in there too. Now I can see what we're currently at, because I was even farther behind. But yeah. Also, think I can go with miscellaneous ones is that since it's the same asset, I can change color or swatches for the entire thing in one go. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we do have, because we have the different kinds of rocks, we kind of have changeable textures, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're limited to 7 textures is the problem, and they also inherit. They have that they're projected from above on all of them of something or another. I think the alpine rocks are the simplest and maybe don't inherit anything on top versus bottom, which I almost feel like they should have dirt on the bottom and then just have more raw rock on the top. But anyway, instead of projecting from above, they should project from the bottom. But anyway, Let's see. By the way, I only made red and blue pop just so people know where they are. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know you probably saw that video and I was talking about it. Yeah, I figured you probably didn't intend for it to be this for the entire duration of the design. But yeah, I think these pipes inside of this is a really cool build that you did, by the way. Because I know that's a separate piece from that, and it's something that you did that's really cool and clever. Oh, this is a crate platform. Right? No, it's scaffolding. Oh, okay. I was thinking it was one of those plus sign crate floors. Anyway, and then might even make that rock in a bit. That would be pretty cool. So I could copy that over to here, and it has actually a specific snap point. So yeah, I'll do that. It's a very simple snap point that I can just copy over. So I'm going to do that right this second. We will have this staircase on both sides. And let me go by, I'm guessing this is 90-degree swap, because you were going off a grid, and I'm going to prefab it for a second so I can reselect it like really easily. And then I need that one to be on my magnet point, so I gotta deselect and reselect, and then hold it for a sec and snap. There, now we've got two. I need to do something similar to that with this over to there. How do you like this, by the way? I'm not so certain about the color and textures, but I liked the idea of reinforcing this concrete with a sort of interior, you know, I-beam sort of structure that they then poured the concrete on top of. I'm not talking about the rail, by the way. I was talking about this. But I thought it was kind of cool. One sec, let me go find it. Okay, sounds good. Because I actually liked that this was a giant concrete block, but I wanted to just make it look reinforced. I like the industrial headlong look. Yeah. Oh, you got a link. Mega scan. Okay. Oh, this is literally the rock, yeah, of the mega scan. Yeah, you can see I've got all these freaking tabs. All YouTube, pretty much. Mostly YouTube. This is Max Hoberman's Instagram, because I was gonna make an Instagram and follow him like 8 months ago. Whenever we actually chatted about Waterworks, whatever it was, I don't remember how long ago, 6 months ago, something like that. I never did, so I just left it open as a to-do sort of thing. Anyway, this is a really cool, yeah, they've got the mega scans. I think does this website let you render up? There's some 3D model, it's Quixel mega scans, and some 3D model websites, they'll let you render it and then rotate it and stuff. The renderers. One render. Nope, that's just a render in the game. No, I don't think it does on this one. But yeah. Whoop, wrong screen. Let me put this up here. Okay. Okay, now I know. Why does it get so behind for me? Every now and then it loses its live. Anyway, looks like it's still under construction. Yeah. Or like they want to be able to deconstruct it if they need to, you know, rebuild it somewhere else or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it's modular almost. And it actually, the funny thing is that there is actually I-beam on the inside, so it makes sense that they would pour the concrete around a beam on the inside. You know, I just realized that some of my structural knowledge is another job I did. Where when I was 15, I worked for my dad, and he owned at the time a steel detailing company, which is, he wasn't an architect. An architect would design a building, and they would use a computer software to turn that building into blueprints. And between what the architect was doing and the computer, that building would fall over in a brisk wind. So, my dad worked for a company called Steel Detailing Company, which literally just goes, okay, you want this building to stand up? Okay, here's how you do that, and redoes the entire blueprint, adjusting measurements everywhere, like 1/8 of an inch, like simplifying things because they'll have 30 seconds of an inch as like a measurement on there because the computer is too precise, and like all sorts of stuff like that. And we just go through, we adjust all the measurements, he adds welds, adds bolts, changes like lengths of I-beams and stuff like that. And I worked for him where he would take his, after he makes it accurate as best he can, there's still some flaws here and there, he flip through his blueprints on paper, take a highlighter, highlight what's wrong, write in red marker, what to change it to. I'd go into the software and change, okay, just change this measurement value, and now it's this. And it doesn't have to change much because the end construction crew will see now that it's this measurement, they'll make that now. And so it effectively fixes that. And I just realized that that means I was zooming through programs, literally AutoCAD and SDS2, for 3D models of and 2D like 2D like 3D models turned into 2D images for the blueprints, like the lines, to wrap my head around how this structure was designed, so I know where. And really, I was just doing what he was telling me to, because I was 15. I literally just like, oh, that value there, okay, cool, change that value there to the thing you told me to do, and it's literally monkey, keyboard work, because I was just literally, me and my older brother were just keyboard monkeys essentially in that regard. But the point is that that I just realized it only just occurred to me that that's probably where part of my construction mentality of this comes from. I didn't think of that before, and that's, it should have been obvious. But yeah. Oh, you sent me another Quixel thing. Cool. Okay, I want this to sort of line up there because I didn't apparently line it up correctly. I just saw that. I had to fix that. The angle was off. Okay, cool. So I never really thought about that before, but now it makes sense as to why that's how I build my maps. Is I'm very structure oriented. Okay. This is cool. Looks like it's under construction. Yeah. And then, so what about this one? Are you talking about these and making these? Because these are all really cool. This is why a lot of people are doing Unreal Engine stuff, and why people who are doing Unity are switching to Unreal Engine and all sorts of things like that. I don't know that I would want to do Unreal Engine myself for game development, because I like stylized, and I overblow my scale too much. Like, oh, that is my phone telling me it's 1:30 in the afternoon, and that I should probably stop streaming. But anyway, I overdo my budget so often. I'm gonna do the textures on these two real quick. That not my budget, but I mean, like, my scope. I overdo my scope so much whenever I'm doing game design that when I was making my game, I was like, no, I can't do Unreal Engine because it's too good. I will end up losing. Actually, should I do this as the gray because it's the support columns? Well, okay. Over here, I've got support beams, like they're painted the green as a like a galvanizing of the beams to make sure they don't rust or something to that effect. And whoop, where's my? At the risk of eventually y'all thinking that I'm like that guy who says, you know that guy who does those YouTube shorts and the TikToks where he goes in the mirror and he's like, come here. He's like, come here. And he like zooms in. He makes himself zoom in the reflection so it looks like you're getting closer. He's like, not that close. And then he makes you go back, and then he's like, and then he talks about like, yeah, so I was working at Domino's, and he gives you like food, like tricks and like tips and tricks about food and stuff like that. Yeah. The risk of turning into that guy, I've done a lot of different jobs. Or y'all thinking I'm like that guy. I'm not to that extreme. We got a little sidetracked, but I enjoy every art related and design. It's all dope. Yeah, exactly. And then, so let's see. Some of your objects I can tell were placed before a recent update. What in the world? Oh, my kids is kicking the door. So some of my, okay, zero this out, zero that out. I probably need to get going. Because like I said, the alarm went off and I need to get going. But yeah, so, and I'm going to do that. Let's see, I like that guy. Yeah, exactly, I like that guy too. I watch everything he does. But anyway, yeah, I was just saying that, like, with all the jobs that I always mention that I worked, I don't want to make you think I worked that many jobs, but I have worked pretty eclectic, various jobs. But anyway, I think I do got to get going to go feed my kids, or lunch and stuff. They've probably woken up and had breakfast with my wife already. But yeah, these are looking good. like a glimpse of what it's going to look like later. And this area, like a glimpse of what we're going to look at like later. And I think I could be done by the end of the month, maybe. If all I'm doing is arting this main part of the map, we could just do that. And while you are blocking out the big team battle areas, Ripshade, I could finish arting this, and we just won't implement any of the larger map sections because it's a 4v4 contest. We can release it with all that extra map there that you can't get access to, right? With all of the doors closed off and nothing, you can't get to anything. And then that way, whenever they, do their contest, we can decide if they want to, or we can see if we can actually compete with other people. But yeah, be pretty cool. And I think I need to make these things spin some way. Anyway, yep, okay, yep. I keep on saying I gotta get going, and I do. And, yeah. I'll catch you guys later. But yeah.